Hey everybody, it's Charlotte with the Wooden Wick Co. And today on Maker's Moments, I'm going to be teaching you how to make a tube wick candle and how to make a spiral wick candle. I have all of my components out here on the table. You'll need candle wax. Specifically today, I'm using the virgin coconut soy from the Wooden Wick Co. I love working with this wax. It's great for beginners. It's creamy, it's white, it has great glass adhesion, beautiful hot and cold throw, and overall just really easy to work with. So that's what I'm using. For my vessels, I'm using the copper metal tins. Each of these have a 5-ounce fill. One of them will be for the tube wick and one of them will be for the spiral wick. As well, for fragrance, I have the green bamboo and wild violet fragrance oil. This has notes of orange peel, eucalyptus, green bamboo, African violet, and galbanum. It's a really beautiful green floral, so excited to use that. I've got a scale so that I can weigh out my fragrance oil. I already have the wax melting behind me, and I have that going now and already measured. And then obviously and importantly, I have our wicks. So here is a bag of our spiral wicks. These wicks work best in natural wax blends. Coconut soy blends work great with this. It creates a melt pool diameter of about 3 to 3.5 inches. And you can see it spirals around. It has a cool, really unique visual like a wood cylinder. And the spiral wicks come with their own special wick clips, which I have those here too. And then next I have our tube wicks, and the tube wicks work best in all wax types, and they create a melt pool radius of about 2 to 2.5 inches, and you can see they're a little bit smaller in diameter. And then the tube wicks, you can just use our standard wick clips that we use for our flat wicks. So I'll get one of those out as well. And then of course I have wick stickers so I can secure my wicks to the bottom of the containers, and wick trimmers. So a fun little tip when you're making tube and spiral wick candles, if you know already the fill height or the height that you're gonna fill your wax in your vessel, you can pre-trim your wick. So let's say I know that I need to that I need to trim this rather to 1.5 inches. I can measure it, I can trim it before making my candle, and then I can press the trimmed side down into the clip. That way the top of your candle has a really smooth cut on your wick. Today I'll trim them afterwards just so you guys can see what that looks like as well. But let's get started. So I mentioned that I already have the wax melting behind me. So I have 9 ounces of liquid wax back there, and I'm going to use 1 ounce of fragrance oil. That's gonna give me a 10% fragrance load in these candles. So again, they're 5 ounces total each. I'm gonna need 10 ounces of total liquid to fill both of them. And for 10% fragrance load, I'll be using 9 ounces of virgin coconut soy wax and 1 ounce of the green bamboo and wild violet fragrance oil. So weigh out your fragrance oil on a scale. You can use any container to put your fragrance oil into to measure it. Perfect, 1 ounce on the dot. It smells super good. Okay, and now I'm just gonna use this cloth because I'm gonna grab my pouring pitcher, and that is going to be hot. This wax is best melted to 180 to 190 degrees. Okay, perfect. And now you can just pour the entire 1 ounce of fragrance oil directly into your melted wax. And get something to stir with. And when you're making candles, you want to stir your fragrance oil into your wax for 2 to 3 minutes. So put on your favorite song and just relax, because 2 to 3 minutes can seem like a long time when you're just sitting here stirring wax, but it can be kind of relaxing and meditative too. while I'm doing that, I'm going to take the lids off of my containers. Probably should have wicked these before, but that's okay. You can watch me do it as quickly as I can. Okay, so it's been 2 minutes now, and I'm going to take these little rubber bands off of the spiral wick. These wicks can come with rubber bands or a biodegradable plastic tube on them. Whichever you have on your wicks, just remove that before putting them into your candle. And then take your wick sticker, adhere it onto the bottom of your clip, and then press the entire wick and clip assembly down into the center of your vessel. And then we're gonna do the same exact thing with the tube wick. With the tube wick, you can just gently pinch it into the bottom of the flat wick clip. And then again, always use a wick sticker. It's just the safest thing you can do to make sure that your wick stays in place while the candle's burning. And then I'm gonna just do the same thing and press that into the center bottom of my container. Okay, and now I'm ready to pour my wax. When you're making candles, you want to pour your wax to about 1/2 inch to 1 inch below the top of your container. Beautiful. And so now these candles are poured and they are ready to cool. I'm gonna let them cool for at least 24 hours before moving them or trimming them to make sure that I don't mess up the surface of my wax. This is a single pour wax, which means that you don't need to go back over it with a heat gun or make any corrections to it after it's been poured. It should set up perfectly the first time. So I'm gonna let these sit and cool, and then we're gonna come back in 24 hours and I will show you guys how to trim them. So when you're ready to trim your candles, take your wick trimmer, place them 0.2 inches above the surface of the wax, and gently clip the wick away. And we have these beautiful finished candles. So that is how you make a tube wick and a spiral wick candle. Thanks so much for making with me today. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to stay in the know on all the latest makers tips and tricks. Happy making!